Om Sahana Vavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvina Vadhitamastu Ma Vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. This morning we said that our nature is happiness, to be the pleased self, and therefore we need not have to anything to be happy because that's our nature. They said fire doesn't need to do anything to be hot, or sugar does not need to do anything to be sweet, and so theoretically we should not have to do anything to be happy, but we find ourselves to be quite unhappy, more unhappy than we find ourselves happy. That is not because unhappiness is our nature. We are unhappy in spite of our nature being happy. If unhappiness was a question can be asked, Swamiji, why do you say unhappiness is not your nature? That seems to be more predominant than happiness. But as we said, another rule is that one is comfortable with one's own nature. I'm comfortable being happy, not comfortable being unhappy. And others also know. So Swamiji would say, you never go and congratulate somebody because he's unhappy. Or say, congratulations, you lost job or something like that. You never do that. You always console the person who's unhappy. You know that unhappiness is not desirable. Just I don't desire, others also do not desire. And when somebody is happy, you congratulate them. That shows that it is accepted. Happiness is what one wants. One is comfortable being happy, which means that happiness must be my nature. And which is in keeping with what the scriptures reveal. And still, we do not seem to be happy most of the time. That's because there is something that inhibits the manifestation of happiness. We say there's a cloud of raga, dvesha, likes and dislikes, sadness, impulses which are there. Why are they there? Because of ignorance. Ignorance creates these likes and dislikes. Ignorance creates all impulses. Ignorance creates all the evil. That's also important to keep in mind. If I knew the true nature of myself, and if I was happy naturally, there's no reason whatever for me to be angry at all. A happy person has no reason to be angry, to be cruel. A happy person is always kind, always compassionate, always selfless. Because what do we desire by being selfish? To be happy. The reason why I am selfish is because I am seeking to be happy. If I already am happy, then I don't have to be selfish at all. If I am not selfish, I will be selfless. Something I will be. So selflessness also is my nature, understand? Selflessness also is my nature. Selfishness is not my nature. The selfishness is due to ignorance. Ignorance of what I am. Ignorance of the fact that happiness or limitlessness is my nature. I do not know that. And that is why I take myself to be a limited or inadequate or unhappy person. Thus the perception I have of myself is born of ignorance. Why is there ignorance? It is there. Why does ignorance give us this perception? It does. We don't have answer to the question why. Why should there be ignorance? If ignorance was not there, nothing would have been there, including this question also. That being the case, ignorance is the reason for all the questions. The question why arises from ignorance, and therefore we cannot have answer the question why ignorance. It is there. Swami, why should God do this? Why does He create us and then gives us all these things, and then you say that now we have to grow and then we have to discover freedom? Why? What else will you do? Suppose this was not the case. If you are free, what's the point? You would not be born. So it's a challenge given to us. We are sent here with an agenda as well as a challenge. Other life forms have no questions like that. They don't ask why I am so and so. They seem to be quite comfortable in what they are. As we say in the morning, buffalo has no stress because it is comfortable being a buffalo. Does not compare itself with a cow, doesn't feel inferior or superior or whatever. And so they seem to be quite comfortable being what they are. They are comfortable because, as I said, they are not evolved enough to be sensitive to the limitations they have. That's all. They are much more limited than we are. But then they do not have the sensitivity. They are ignorant. Ignorance is bliss, so they are enjoying bliss, meaning that they are comfortable being what they are. We are not comfortable being what we are because we are sensitive. Somehow we know that limitlessness is our nature. We keep comparing ourselves to what is an ideal. Even as an ideal I, and then we keep comparing the present I or actual I with reference to that and judge ourselves inadequate. The fact that I judge myself inadequate shows that some insight I have about adequacy is. Because now and then we do experience that adequacy. Now and then we do experience that freedom from limitation. Now and then we experience happiness where we get totally lost. There are moments. Not many, but there are moments. Not just ordinary happiness, but ecstasy where a person gets lost completely. Like the thing that happens in deep sleep where we get lost completely. At that time we are not aware and therefore that experience does not benefit us. But during the waking state also, something happens now and then which makes us extremely happy. Momently I get lost in that happiness. It can be simply a plate of ice cream. I never expected all it given to me. Just a candy you give to a child and jumps with joy. For a child, a candy is enough. For me, it may have to be a Rolls Royce or something like that. That's a different thing. But everybody has something which can create in them ecstasy. Things do happen. Swami came in my dream last night, ecstasy, So sometimes, this morning I got a telephone call from Puja Swamiji. Something like that, depends on what kind of values people have, but then as I said, there are things that just make us very happy. At that time I get lost, which I gets lost? That inadequate I gets lost. That ego meaning sense of individuality gets lost, gets resolved. It's not there. Went away momentarily. And what is there is my true nature, which is limitlessness, momentarily. Whenever we enjoy something extremely well, in that there is an absorption where the object of enjoyment and the enjoyer, both of them, they get resolved if you have such an experience. Sometimes listening to your favorite music, all of a sudden you see a sunrise, all of a sudden you see something and momentarily you are so happy. You did not expect what a thing would look like. Grand Canyon, no idea. You just go there and it's such vast expanse and it's so panoramic that you, for momentarily, you are ecstatic. So there are moments which is when we experience our true nature. That is our true nature. Swami, what do you talk? That's once in a year, if at all. How can you, that's my true nature? For 364 days and 23 hours and so many minutes and seconds I am miserable. But still, that one moment is your nature. Because you seek that moment. As I said, that is the reason why I keep looking at myself and I keep judging myself, comparing myself with that moment. That's the ideal I which I have in mind. Because now and then I've experienced it. And I compare myself with the actual I and I find myself not quite meeting with my own expectations. This dissatisfaction with myself, this perception of myself that I'm inadequate, I'm incomplete, I'm limited, which is a false perception, but that's a perception we have because of ignorance. And it's that which creates all these impulses. All likes and dislikes are a result of that, because that makes me a needy person. I'm inadequate, I'm incomplete, I'm not happy. That makes me needy for happiness, needy for completeness, needy for freedom. And therefore, since I cannot fulfill my need, I have concluded that I am bound or I am limited. So I look outside for fulfilling my need of being free. And therefore, I use every relationship, every interaction as an occasion to try to fulfill my need of being free. And thus I approach, as I said in the morning, every interaction with an agenda, with an expectation in my mind that this will make me free, this will give me what I want. And thus I'm a demanding person. And if somebody obliges me momentarily, as I said in the morning, by making me feel good about myself and helps me to bring to manifestation the pleased self momentarily, then I'm very comfortable in presence of that person or a situation. And therefore, I love that person. We like certain places also. Because that place, it may be a beach, it may be a mountain, it may be anything for different people. It may be Times Square for somebody or a bar for somebody else, whatever, but places we like. Because those places are able to create that pleased self. It may be for you Himalayas, it may be a shrine, it may be a holy place, it may be a holy person, or it may be any person. We like to go back again and again, because they create a comfort in us, and they are able to evoke that pleased person in me. So whatever does that, if it's a person, a place, a situation, I have a liking for that. My basic liking is for the pleased self. But then that very liking gets transferred to this person or thing because that facilitates the manifestation of the pleased person. That's how liking comes, like comes. And whatever obstructs in fulfillment of the like creates the dislikes. So attachment in one place is accompanied by aversion in another place. Again, a dislike or aversion for that person can arise if that person, for whatever reason, creates a discomfort in me. Says things that I don't like, reminds me of something that I don't want to face. We don't want to confront many things in our own self, and some people have an uncanny knack of always bringing it up. Make us very embarrassed, make us very uncomfortable. Get lost, get away from me. A young person will say, we may not say that. Young person will say, I hate you. Child will say, I hate you. We can't say that, but inside. This attachment and aversion, likes and dislikes. These are products of ignorance, understand. Ignorance creates a sense of inadequacy, which creates a need, which are superimposed upon others. Those who fulfill that need become the objects of my like or attachment, and those who stifle that need become objects of aversion. I don't want them. Thus I feel happy or comfortable in the presence of some. That's called like or attachment. I feel unhappy in presence of some others. That's called aversion. There is a natural tendency to seek the presence and experience of that which makes me comfortable. This is what makes us dependent. This attachment and aversion, both of them are expressions of dependence or bondage. What is bondage? Bondage is opposite of freedom, which is called dependence. And thus I become dependent upon another person to make me feel good about myself. Since I do not know how to evoke that pleased person, I am dependent upon somebody else who helps me to evoke that pleased person. Therefore, I become dependent upon that person or dependent upon whatever that object or situation is. That's how attachment is an expression of dependence. And so also aversion is an expression of dependence, because I can't stand that person. There is also dependence. If I cannot stand something, that is also dependence. If I cannot do without something, that is also dependence. Thus, many of our interactions they originate from these likes and dislikes. Thus, our agenda of being a pleased person translates itself in the form of likes and dislikes or attachment and aversion. And I approach almost every interaction with a desire that my likes and dislikes be fulfilled, meaning what I like should be done, what I dislike should not be done by the one with whom I am interacting. If that person is mature, understands what my needs are, is compassionate to me, and seeks to fulfill my needs, I am happy. Person is not mature, does not understand what my needs are, not sensitive to my needs, I become unhappy. Thus, I expect a sensitivity from other people that they should understand me. They should understand what I like. Come on, they should know what I dislike. You should know that. Thus, an expectation of sensitivity from others. Not only they should know what I like and dislike, but they should do something to fulfill my likes and dislikes. If necessary, they should go out of their way. They should give up their own likes and dislikes to fulfill my likes and dislikes. This is expectation. Which is fine. If it is one way, unfortunately, the other person has similar expectation of me. That's where the problem is. And very often, what I like may not be liked by the other person. What I dislike may not be disliked by the other person. If it is a married couple, and then this is a big problem. What one likes to watch sports, and she likes to watch some opera, I don't know what it is, or problems. One likes this kind of movie, other one likes that kind of movie, problem. Why problem? Need not be a problem. That two persons have different choices need not be a problem. Problem is that what I like should be done. Therefore, husband would expect that she should change, she should learn. You've been living long enough in America, you should like football. See, when I invite my friends, everybody drinks beer, you should learn to do that. This poor woman has come from India, from an Orthodox family, where they don't even onion and garlic, let alone beer and stuff like that. Husband has been living here since 15 years. He's westernized, and he has different choices. In India, you don't know this kind of thing, all arranged marriage. These fellows go to India for 15 days, they interview 65 people, and then choose one of them. So there's not enough time to know each other. And even then you don't know, because you know only what that person reveals to you. What is going on here, nobody knows. That's why people don't trust fellows coming from United States, because all kinds of stories are there. In newspapers you find what parakram they are doing here. So she comes to a home where there is a different kind of a culture. And the husband expects that she should change. Depends on who is dominating. The dominating one will want the other one to change. If both are dominating, well, good luck. That's why always helps if one is submissive. It is good. It doesn't matter who submissive is, whichever one is submissive. It works both ways. Sometimes in a relationship you find that wife is submissive, some husband is submissive. Doesn't matter. Handbag doesn't, I don't think I would worry about it. What matters is the relationship. So when one is submissive, one is willing, what is meant by submissive is willing to change. Thus, there is also a hidden agenda on our part that the person with whom I am relating should change to comply with my likes and dislikes. What is meant by changing? That person has his or her own likes and dislikes. They should give up those likes and dislikes and adopt my likes and dislikes. This is an expectation that we have. This is what creates conflict. Our expectation, even likes and dislikes, need not create conflicts. The differences need not create conflict. The choices can be different, preferences can be different, everything can be different. Two totally different persons with different personalities can relate to each other and there can be harmony. Provided each one respects the other for what the other person is. Just as I respect my likes and dislikes, if I can respect likes and dislikes of the other person, what is meant by respecting other person is respecting their likes and dislikes. Simple. What is a person? Nothing but likes and dislikes. What am I? My likes and dislikes, that's my personality. And the other person also is a personality having his or her own likes and dislikes. That's what we are. Respecting other person is respecting their likes and dislikes. So if both the persons respect each other's likes and dislikes, it's wonderful. But Swamiji, I told so many times what I like, still she doesn't do that. I have told number of times what I do not like, still she does it. That's another thing. That it is not possible for anyone to fulfill all likes and dislikes of other person. Nobody can fulfill somebody's all likes and dislikes. And therefore demand that all my likes and dislikes should be fulfilled is unreasonable, is impractical, is not possible. Swami, even God cannot fulfill all our likes and dislikes. Because there are all contradictory demands. There is this man, he has two daughters. These daughters are married to two different persons. One daughter is married to a farmer, other daughter is married to a pot maker, brick maker, not bricklayer, brick maker. You know, there were those kilns where they bake bricks. So one daughter is married to that person, daughter is married to a farmer. So once the father said, let me visit my daughters. Went first to daughter who is married to farmer. How are you doing? Everything is fine, Dad, everything is fine, Father. But please pray for me. What? We are waiting for rain to come. The rain is delayed, we are waiting for the rain to come. We already sown the seeds, rain should come quickly. Please pray to the Lord. Okay, my child, I'll do that. Goes to another daughter, and she also has a request of father. Please pray for me, Dad. What do you want me to pray? That for 15 days there should be no rain. Because we are drying the bricks out there, and the rain comes and all the bricks will be spoiled. So please tell God, because you are a devotee of God, so He will listen to you. Swami, you please pray for me because God will listen to you. Whatever. That there is no rain. What will God do? If He sends rain, then also no good. Does not send rain, that's no good. Even God cannot please. I think God is the one who is in most difficulty is God, really. We have a few people with whom we relate, who have expectations from us. But imagine the whole universe having expectation from God. Everybody having their own unique likes and dislikes, and expecting, demanding God to do what I want. I've been praying to you for all these years. I expect you to do this. So the God helps the patients. If He wants to remove disease, then what about the doctors? So they won't have business. And therefore He listens to prayers of doctors. All contradictory kind of. Can you imagine how He must be managing this world? I don't know. We have so much problem managing this one household with a few children and a few people. You pull your hair, you don't know what to do. Can you imagine being God? That shows that He must be all right. For being God, He must be really free. He must have no likes and dislikes. He must have no expectations. He must be all compassionate. He must be all accommodating. Has to be, otherwise he can't survive. For one, he is to be healthy and surviving. He has to be like that. He has to be limitless. He has to be perfect. Like ocean. Add a few buckets of water, no problem. Take a few buckets of water, no problem. So by definition, God must be limitless. He must be all compassion. He must be all, and all love. And then alone he can stand all these kind of accusations. We cannot stand an accusation. Why? Because it hurts us. After all that I have done for you, is this what you have to say? Why does it hurt? Because I have an expectation. We get hurt because our expectation is not met with. If God has expectation, he will be always hurt. He will not survive. But he can be compassionate because no expectations at all. Doesn't matter what people tell him. Not that he's thick-skinned. There are people, politicians also. They're also like that. Nothing happens to them. It's amazing. Nothing happens to them. It is in India. You say, what do you want to say? Print. What do you want to print? Nothing. I say, how can he sleep at night but nothing happens to this person? He's not God. He's not thick-skinned. To be sensitive and still not to feel, that's the real thing. He's sensitive, compassionate, knows what his devotees want, and still does not feel hurt, does not feel rejected, because he is limitless. He has no expectation at all. And therefore, everybody is all right as they are. He doesn't demand any change. To be really happy, we have to be like that. Why I'm talking about God? We cannot be God that we can create this world and we can destroy the world, etc. We can't be omniscient, omnipotent. We can't be God in that sense, but we can be God in this sense. When Vedanta says that you are God, Vedanta doesn't mean that you are omniscient, omnipotent, that you will create this world. No. You don't want, better don't do that. Don't take the responsibility. It's a tough job. Whatever little we create, like our children, we have a hard time to deal with them. What will you if you create the whole world? Leave it to him. But where we can be like him is in this, that we can be as compassionate that he is. This is what Vedanta says. When you say you are Brahman, you are God, this is where the equation is. Some people, Swami, I am God, what are you talking about? Swami, if I get the knowledge, you think I can know what's going on in your mind? Why do you want to do that? Why do you want to know what's in my mind? You have enough things with your own mind, If you know what's happened. Swami, what about, will I know what happened in my last birth? Better don't know that. People say that, Swami, how do I know that I was, that I had a previous birth? What proof do you want? I should remember. It's better that you don't remember. Memories of this birth are enough to make me crazy. Is it not so? All problems we have, all kinds of memory of childhood. My mother did this, my father did this, my father did this fellow did that. That's all is going on in my mind. This one life memory makes me mad. Can you imagine what will happen if I knew what will happen in the past life? Better. It's grace of God that we don't remember. It's grace of God that we are not all-knowing, that we are not omniscient, not omnipotent. What we are not also is grace of God, understand? And therefore we are quite happy with what we have. Except where we can be like God, we can be like Him. All compassion, no expectations at all. That is possible for us. So we should shoot for something that is possible for us. Don't try to become like God by all kinds of powers and do all meditations and yoga and this and that and create powers and so I can convert water into milk and whatever. So what? Suppose we can do so. I can fly in the sky. Suppose we do. So what? Suppose there is some siddhi or power that I can change this. All right. So what? It's nothing. No power is anything. It's not a big deal at all. It looks like it would be wonderful, if I had that power, as long as you don't have it. When you have it, you find it's a big liability. Whatever we have, more than what we need is a liability. So it's best that that is given to them, given to God. Have all the powers and do what you want. All I need the power. There is also great power. More than power of muscles is the power of compassion. That's the real power God has. Otherwise, can you imagine? If it was not that, power in his hand will become misery, that power will be abused. Power corrupts, absolute power corrupts, absolutely. But why am I mentioning God? Only because in that respect, how would it be imagined? How wonderful relation would be that you have no expectation of the other person at all. That you can totally accept the other person as a person is, in spite of Swami, but look at the nature, look at this, regardless of what it is. Then you make the other person totally comfortable with you because there is no demand. It's a non-demanding relationship. You know something? If you want that the person should change, the change will not happen by demanding the change. Nobody will oblige you if you make a demand that it should change. But if you just make the person comfortable in your presence, by genuinely accepting, not making a show, genuinely accepting, then a person himself or herself will want to change. Because I said nobody wants to have any kind of likes and dislikes. That's all pressure. Nobody wants some anger and greed. Nobody wants that. That's not our nature, thank God. By nature, each one of us is a nice, kind, loving, wonderful person. Each one of us is a saint by nature. That's how the nature of the mind is. That mind by nature possesses all noble qualities. Whatever evil, meaning whatever likes and dislikes, or anger or cruelty, whatever is we find in our mind, is all due to ignorance. And nobody is responsible for ignorance. So we cannot hold even evil person responsible for their evil because it is because of ignorance. If he did not have ignorance, he would not be like this. And we brand others evil, we also have aspects of it anyway. We also get angry sometimes. We also become very insensitive. We also become cruel. So what is evil is a product of it. This morning we said that person is helpless. That pressurizes, that evil or all these negative tendencies, impulses, pressurizes person to behave in a certain way. Our Swamiji says that this is important to understand. That's why we spend so much time in understanding why our mind is what it is. So first of all, we should not blame ourselves for having likes and dislikes. I should not blame myself for having an anger, for having anything like that. I don't have to blame myself. I need not even take responsibility for having those things. Because all of that is due to ignorance. What is my responsibility? To do something about it. Not blame myself, not blame anybody else. If you go to a therapist and they will ask you why you are, because of your mother and because of your father. So I guess that seems to be a comforting thing, to know that what my misery is because of them, and I'm all right. Okay, if that helps you, do that. That doesn't solve the problem. It transfers the blame and it spoils the relationship. Because children come and try to and then fight with their mother. And so why did you do that? Why you didn't? I've seen this happening. Anyway, whatever that is, I say no blame, because everything that is undesirable is all due to ignorance. Why ignorance is there? It is there. Who created it? Nobody created it. Meaning that a person is bad, in our opinion, is also due to ignorance. You know why I'm saying is because this will bring us a sympathy for that person. Because as we said in the morning, a Duryodhana is helpless. Kenapi devena rudisthitena yatha niyuktosmi tatha karomi. In whatever way, something sitting in my heart, in whichever way it compares me, that is how I act. I am helpless. So, whoever violates a value is a helpless person. It is our pastime to criticize all those people who violate the values, who are dishonest, Swamiji, greedy. It's nice to talk about them, criticize them. These Wall Street people are like that, politicians are like that, these fellows are like that, okay. But in our mind we should know that all those negative tendencies, as we call them, all those people are helpless. Swami is a billionaire, what are you talking? He also can be helpless because he wants another billion. Doesn't that show helplessness? So if I had $1 billion, yeah, I'm afraid if you have $1 billion, you also may be like that. Because that's an unfortunate equation. As far as worldly accomplishments are concerned, more you have, more you seem to want. They did not have the benefit of Vedanta, that's all we can say. They did not have benefit of the teaching. They were not exposed to the basic reality of life. That look, greed never pays off. Greed is like fire, and more you try to satisfy your greed, more demanding it becomes. So they compare greed with ocean. It's shoreless. And so these poor people, millionaires they are leaders, they are very smart people, very intelligent people, very talented people. But very immature when it comes to this thing. Why immature? Because they fall prey to their own impulse of greed. And they use all their smartness and all their cleverness in exploiting other people to fulfill their greed, thinking that they have accomplished something. Not realizing that the greed will never go. More you entertain greed, stronger it becomes. All these evil qualities, they come as guests, linger on to become host, and stay on to enslave us. And therefore, soon enough we become enslaved. So, therefore, people, doesn't matter how powerful otherwise the person is, how successful otherwise the person is, but as long as a person is controlled by these negative impulses, the person is helpless. We cannot call that person a successful person. Because he or she may be successful from our standard, because we think that if he would be like that, I would be in heaven. But then, success is not in what you have, success is in what you are. And people have spent their whole life in only paying attention to what we should have not paid attention to what we should be. And therefore, this aspect of self-growth gets ignored. Nobody seems to see the need of that. Nobody seems to see the need of that for being happy. Not realizing that that is what gives you happiness. It's not what you have that gives you happiness, it's the extent to which you have grown or evolved, that's what gives you happiness. The simple fact of life is not known, that success is not to be found in some kind of an external situation, is not to be found in some worldly acquisitions or worldly gains. There's nothing wrong with those gains, nothing wrong with accomplishing those things. But in themselves, they do not mean success. Success is you. Failure also is you. A mind that is free from the inner compulsions, a mind which is free from inhibitions, that I can express my true nature. What is my true nature? Compassion is my true nature. If I can be compassionate, but there is something that blocks that compassion. Out of a loving person, something that stifles that. That's what I was saying in the morning. Each one of us wants to be a good person. Something stifles. Doesn't allow me to be generous. Doesn't allow me. I see a beggar and the impulse is to just help him. Give him 25 rupees. Then by the time I put my hand in the pocket, no, I think 25 rupees is too much. I think 15 rupees will be okay. Then longer I take in counting, 5 rupees, 1 rupee, I wind up giving 25 paisa ultimately. There's something inside, doesn't allow me to give that money. I have the money. And my first response was to give him that. But there is this greed inside, some aversion inside. No, he shouldn't get it. Some greed, some aversion, something. So we are not free. When are we free? When we are free to manifest our goodness. That is when we are free. When we can manifest our love or compassion, that's when we are free. There is something within ourselves that stifles that. And thus a bound person also is going to bring about only bondage in the relationship. As a bound person, I relate to somebody, the relationship is going to be affected. And therefore, who relates is very important. We talk of relationships, all right, but we should pay attention to the one who relates. That is the most important one here. And I'm the one who relates. But Swamiji is both ways. Two persons are relating. It's a give and take. I go halfway, this one goes halfway. Good. If you're lucky, then it's fine. So the other person doesn't go halfway, so what will you do? Create distance. Create space, okay. That you can do. Or you can take up the challenge and grow to a point where the person can be where the person is and still you can accommodate. It's a tall order. But what I'm saying is, this is what is, if you take that challenge, this is what you can do. I quote this example. We have this what we call pativrata, In India, in Puranas, we read about these most virtuous women who were so devoted to their husband, so pure, so loving, that we remember the names in the morning. Ahalya, Draupadi, Sita, Tara, Mandodari, Tatha. We remember these names. Mandodari. Mandodari was the wife of Ravana. You know Ravana? The hydra-headed demon? All anger, all greed, all lust. How many women he had in his, in his palace? Sita was not the only one he actually captured, but this, of course, he did not know, where to put a boundary. He is the embodiment of Kama, Krodha and Lobha, that's what he is. So Ravana symbolizes lust, anger, greed. Can you imagine somebody loving this person? Can you imagine a Mandodari stuck with this person? But still Mandodari is considered to be a pativrata. She loved him. I don't know how she did it. What a challenge would that be? It's very difficult for us to do. All I am saying is possible. Vali, his wife was Tara. She is also another one that is quoted. Tara, Mandodari, Sita. Look at this. Tara gets first name, Mandodari even before Sita. So they have shown that it is possible to even love a person like that. It demands that we have to grow. Mandodari could not change Ravana, could not change him. She appealed to him number of times. Please give Sita back. Don't look upon Rama as a human being. He's incarnation of God. He creates this universe. Don't think that he's an ordinary person. And he's so compassionate. He'll forgive you. Go and repent for all your sins, he'll forgive you. So what are you talking? What is a human being before me? You are my wife. You don't realize that all the devatas are also, my servants. So Ganapati, Ganesha, used to be a cowherd person, used to take care of the animals of Ravana, so they say. Chandra Moon used to hold a chhatra, an umbrella. Fire used to cook his food. All devatas were employed by him. so powerful. But is he free? Is he successful? Would you want that kind of success? Can that person be happy even for a moment? In spite of what accomplishment, if you read the description in Ramayana, you can't imagine somebody more accomplished than him. But he's not even for a moment he's happy. Why does he have to, kidnap Sita? Why? How inadequate he must be feeling. He never worked on that part. He was a great tapasvi also. In fact, he pleased Lord Shiva, and Lord Shiva gave him all these kind of boons. He was so haughty and so proud that once he went Mount Kailas to shake up because he wanted to bring Shiva to Lanka. Is he a successful person? No. So it's not what you have. Nothing wrong in what you have. Rama also had the same thing, of course. But what makes you happy and successful is what you are. And that is when we can get rid of what is not inherent in us. So likes and dislikes and all impulses born of them are due to ignorance, and we bring those in our relationships. Here are the two persons, each a bunch of likes and dislikes. And nothing wrong in that also. In fact, married life is meant to help both of them grow. Provided we realize that the main agenda in life should be to grow. Not fulfill my likes. We think our agenda is to fulfill our likes and dislikes. No. The agenda should not be to fulfill likes and dislikes. Agenda should be to become free from them. To let them go. So it's not acquiring, it's letting go. Tyage naike amrutatvamanasu na karmana na prajadhanena. Mantra that we chant in the evening is not by the wealth, not by the progeny, not by heaven that people gain immortality or lasting happiness. It is by renunciation. Renunciation of what? Renunciation of all this that makes my personality, likes and dislikes. So Ravana and Kumbhakarna also stand for likes and dislikes. Ravana stands for Rajas, Kumbhakarna stands for Tamas, Raga and Dvesha. And Lord Rama had to deal with them before he could get his Sita back. Sita stands for peace of mind. He is kidnapped by his likes and dislikes. So a person who has likes and dislikes cannot enjoy peace of mind. All the time I am only thinking about how to fulfill my likes and dislikes, how to get about getting what I want and how to get rid of what I do not want. That's all that goes on in my mind. There cannot be peace of mind. So, a relationship becomes an excellent platform to help us give up our likes and dislikes. That is how a relationship can bring about freedom. There will be freedom in relationship provided we use a relationship, any relationship. Married couple, of course, are stuck with each other, and so that's the most demanding relationship, no doubt about that. The most demanding relationship is between the two persons who are joined, with the knot of wedlock, because they're stuck to each other. And in India, you can't even create a distance, you don't have much choice. Here you can create a distance in the West, okay, create space. That also is okay. Rather than killing yourself and hurting yourself, it may be okay. But still, that is not the end of the thing, because we still are what we are. After creating distance also, my problems remain with me. And then I need to do something. That my likes and dislikes are a problem for me, not anybody else. The world becomes a problem for me because of my own likes and dislikes. Keep on pushing buttons. So world knows how to push his buttons. And I dance like a doll. Angry now, greedy now, happy now. I don't decide. Who decides that? The world decides. If they push the button, I'm happy. Another button, I'm angry. So this is called bondage. When I don't have independence. I do not decide, I cannot command to be happy. Where is freedom? So then a relationship such as between the two spouses can be very well utilized for the process of growth. So freedom, for bringing freedom, a relationship can be used, where hopefully if both the persons have value for inner maturity, inner growth, it becomes a beautiful process. Because then both the persons are willing to let go. What is to let go? Let go of my likes and dislikes. How do likes and dislikes manifest? By demands. I make demands upon the other person. What is my demand? That the other person should fulfill my likes and dislikes. Other person makes demand upon me that I should fulfill that person's likes and dislikes. And thus, these expectations and demands, it never works. If you love the person, you try. Because you love the person, you try to fulfill the likes and dislikes. But there is a limitation. As I said, even God cannot fulfill all our likes and dislikes. What a human being can do. And what happens is, when another person helps, he tries to fulfill likes and dislikes, my demands always increase. So demands fulfilled, demands always increase. I pressurize more and more, I try to control more and more. I become more and more dependent. I get spoiled, I get a spoiled brat, and I expect the other person always to do what I want. And thus I put all kinds of emotional pressures, emotional blackmail and stuff like that, throw tantrums to get my way. As a child, that's what I did with my mother. I saw a child in the airport, little one. Meow, 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 meow. Mother knew what the fellow wanted. He already had one lollipop in the hand. This girl, she took out another lollipop and said, thank you, ma'am. Then she was quiet. So she wanted another lollipop. It's a huge lollipop. She could not put in her mouth, but she wanted another one. Mother says, what can I do? That's why it's a long day. I'm tired. And she so. So we throw tantrums to get our way. How long? If a child keeps on throwing tantrums, then the mother will say, okay, how long? 18 years, get lost. Thank God. So we make other people helpless to reject us ultimately. That's what we do. By being a demanding person, I just do not leave a choice to other person, but to create a distance from me. People live under the same wall or roof, all right, but they are not together. We go on, Swami. So only way it is possible to live under the roof is a willingness to let go of my likes and dislikes. When? Only when it comes in conflict with the relationship. Until then you maintain them, no problem. You can have your own personality, your own choices, your own likes and dislikes, as long as these likes and dislikes do not affect your relationship. When I discover that my demand now creates a conflict, I should be willing to let go of that demand. I tell people who come for blessing after marriage, I say, look, understand that your relationship is more important than each one of you. The relationship is more important than the person. You retain your individuality. But when you find that your individuality, your demands, your likes and dislikes, they come in the way of your relationship, it is not worthwhile to hang on to those likes and dislikes. People give up a relationship and they retain their likes and dislikes. What is called ego is nothing but hanging on to my demands and likes and dislikes, my way or highway. It is a very, I think it's a very short-sighted approach, not realizing the value of the relationship. The relationship is very valuable. And it's a value of values. Our Swamiji says, A value becomes a value when its value is valuable to me. So what is valuable in my life? Is a relationship more valuable, or my likes and dislikes or my demands are more valuable? If I value that my relationship is more valuable, then alone I will be willing to and able to let go of my likes and dislikes if they come in the way of a relationship. Unfortunately, due to immaturity, for many people, their ego, meaning their demands and their likes and dislikes, are more important than the relationship. And therefore we let go the relationship. But then what? Another relationship, but I remain the same problem. It's not that by creating distance we solve any problem. And understand that I have nothing to lose by giving up likes and dislikes. Because what binds me, what makes me unhappy are the likes and dislikes. By letting them go, in fact, I am only getting, what is it, good riddance? I am letting go only the source of unhappiness. They say that if you want to be happy, give up the cause of unhappiness. This person is the cause of my unhappiness. Person is not. That's what Arjuna thought. Says to Lord Krishna, this battle is the cause of my unhappiness, my sadness. I don't want to fight. Because the battle would bring about very painful, unpleasant result. I don't want that. This is a wonderful teaching. Lord Krishna says, no, this battle of karma is not your problem. It is your likes and dislikes, your expectations and attachments, that are the problem. What is an attachment? When I do something, this must be the outcome. That's my demand. We'll come to that, but as we are demanding of everything. When I perform an action, I demand that this should be the outcome. If that outcome is not there, I'm upset. Everywhere we make demands. Lord Krishna says, even if you give this battle, so what? You remain what you are. Yadahankaram ashritya nayotseti manyase mithyesha vyavasayaste prakrutistvam niyokshari. Here Arjuna, out of arrogance, if you do not listen to me and understand what I am saying and follow what I am teaching, out of arrogance, what does he know? I know better. You understand that your vyavasaya, your understanding, your resolve will not work. I will not fight, that resolve will not work. You may not fight this battle, but the something inside which will which will compel you to fight some other battle. Prakrutistvam niyokshati. You have a certain nature. You have certain likes and dislikes. As long as they are niyokshati, you will be controlled by your own nature. Lord Krishna says, Prakritim yanti bhutani. All the beings are controlled by their nature. And therefore, if you give up this battle and go somewhere else, if you go to forest, you will find out some way to fight there also. Because what is inside has to come out in some way. Meaning that we are not solving the problem. I am not suggesting what you should do, I am just, we are just analyzing. But if the relationship is valuable to me, is more valuable than my likes and dislikes, more valuable than my demands or ego, then I will be able to give up that. It's called assimilated value. We should have an assimilated value of the value of relationship. How important it is in our life. How all our happiness comes from that. How every relationship is no doubt a demanding thing. Every relationship makes a demand. It requires a lot of investment. An emotional investment of time, investment of emotion, no doubt about that. But that's an investment that brings about a great profit if the investment is proper. So value of values. Relationship is more valuable than my likes and dislikes. Then I'm willing to let go. So letting go. What is freedom in relationship? Is the extent to which I'm willing to and capable of letting go of my likes and dislikes. To that extent, we discover freedom in our relationship. Because those likes, they are blocking me. I love this person, but I can't. Not when the person behaves like that, I can't love. I can love only when everything is what I want. Not that we don't have love, each one loves. We are made of love. Love is the primary emotion anyway. Even likes and dislikes also are nothing but distorted manifestation of that love. What is my love? My love is for the pleased self. What's it? That is love affair. Primary love affair is with the pleased self. I hate you because you come in the way of my love of the pleased self. I love you because you facilitate the love for the pleased self. And so every emotion is an expression of love. So that's what we want. Not knowing how to do, we hate. And so, if we consider a value as relation is valuable, the relationship is valuable, then we will become free, because a relationship will demand me to give up more and more and more. Swami, how much can I give up? Whatever you can give up, you are better off. You are less burdened. You are lighter. And anyway, we will experience the benefit of giving up likes and dislikes right away. We don't have to wait until death or some future time that it is beneficial. You will feel good. I didn't want to do it, Swamiji, but I just did because she wanted me to. Okay. And if you do that without bitterness and with sympathy, then even though you went out of way to please that person, when you see that person is pleased, you'll be happy. So yes, you had to give up, you had to inconvenience yourself. Swamiji, 3 years I had to sit in that theatre, I slept during that time, whatever it is. I didn't want to go to see that movie. I just went because he or she or somebody wanted me to do. But do it happily. Don't do it, all right, I'll go with you. That doesn't work. That means you're not going. You're physically going but not emotionally going there. Do it happily. It is my privilege to do what you want me to do. Suppose. We do that. When our children want us to do a lot of things, we do, don't we? I see parents living the whole life for their children. Happily they do. You relocate from this place to why? Because my child has gone to California. They relocate all the way from Pennsylvania to California, imagine. To be around them. Not with them, but to be around them. With them is too close, I think. Around them. Because my son is going to have, my daughter-in-law is going to have, she's pregnant, so we should be around, so we can help them. It's a pleasure to do that, nothing wrong in it. If you can be useful to somebody, it's wonderful. If you can be a source of happiness for somebody, nothing like it. It may be inconvenient to you because you have to relocate, and what all you have to do, but there's a reward. So whenever that is called our investment. Then we have to also undergo a certain amount of discomfort, some physical pain, not emotional pain, physical discomfort. But the reward is you are happy because you could make somebody happy. And that is in the direction of everlasting happiness. By fulfilling my likes and dislikes, also I become happy. But that's only what? Temporary happiness. I want more and more. By fulfilling somebody's likes and dislikes, when I get happiness, That's in direction of lasting happiness. So this is one lesson, is willingness to let go in a relationship. We'll continue our discussion tomorrow. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om. Shri Guru Bhyo Namaha. Hari Om.